Hey, what's up guys? Angelson here, bringing you a battle replay commentary on Secure Ridge. And I decided to try something a little bit different this time. Full on, pretty much infantry line rush, using a cav on both sides for distraction. And no artillery. This map is just really bad for artillery because that ridge line is so high that, if your opponents do get on top, you aren't really going to land many shots up there. I mean, even on manual fire, it's really bad. But I brought a ton of units, well, at least a ton for me. You can see, pretty much, I have my one melee unit set in front of my formation. My goal was to get him up there to soak up some fire. Meanwhile, I push the rest of my line infantry up. You can see I've got some US Marines, 150 range. I've got quite a few Black Bear infantry. Only two of them have an accuracy upgrade. One of them has suppressive fire. I don't think I used it though. And then I also have two of these Imperial Guard infantry. Really good stats, but a really expensive unit. And over here you can see for my cav, I just brought 4 Yari cav, 2 on this flank, 2 over here on this flank, with revolver cavalry. It's a pretty tight, close map, and here you can see what I'm talking about. When if your artillery is down here, it's just such a sharp angle to try and shoot from. And if you look at my opponent, he's actually a bushido general, which was a little intimidating. I used to love playing rush strategy on this map on the regular Shogun, and a strong infantry line can really take over here. But you see he also has quite a few of these bokachi, which can be pretty dangerous if you just let them sit around and shoot up your guys. 1 or 2 isn't too bad. But here you can see I'm going to go ahead and swing my cavalry out on the wings. He's also got a few rifle units backing him up, so it's combined arms. He's got Shogunate infantry, 3 of these units of, 2 units of Shogunate infantry and Shogunate Guard infantry, which is kind of like my Imperial Guard infantry. Well, it is exactly like, it's just different. I lost focus of my micro over here for a few minutes because I saw all this cav pop out over here. So I decided to go ahead and swing my Yari key into his cav, try and slow them down while I can maneuver my revolver cav over here. These guys, they have short range, but they fire pretty quick in the air, just awesomely devastating in cav. Very low on ammo though. But they're going to do a fair amount of damage before they get raped over here.
Your general is under attack.
And you can see over here, he's already got his bokachi shooting at my general. So I put my general in loose formation and ran him back down the hill a little ways. I'm going to go ahead and try to push up the rest of my infantry lines. Over here as well, you can see I've maneuvered some of this cavalry on the back. My goal is to get these revolver cav close to his general. These guys are just general killers. And unfortunately, they do get caught up in these spears. It's a little freaking out a little bit. I did not want them to rout just yet. But thankfully they didn't, and you can see I'm going to get my revolver cav right over here on top of his general, which is a bushido general. Huge melee stats. But these guys just decimate cav. And at this point, I decide, you know what, I'm not going to rush my cav over here to take care of his cav. I'm actually going to bring them up here and push them into his infantry and bow line. So, it's a pretty tight line he has over here. I've got pretty good field of fire on all of his infantry. But just putting the cav up here and doing those rear attacks just put the nail in the coffin right there. It's going to allow me pretty much a dominating position on top of this ridge line. His only option is going to be to run the rest of his units back down off the hill now, because all he has left are cav, and I still have quite a few cav left, as you can see, 46 and 50 out of 60, and I mean, he's just got cav and melee. So I'm going to go ahead and run my cav back behind my lines now. I was hoping he would go ahead and just get mad and charge his cav in, let my infantry lines just destroy them, but it doesn't quite work out that way. What has he got shooting at me over here? He's got 2 units of Yari key. Oh, these Imperial Guard cav. They are good, but I wouldn't use them on a tight map like this. And over here I was just having terrain issues. I mean, you'd think I'd have a pretty good angle on his troops over here, but honestly they're behind this ridge line, so I have to push up quite a ways to be able to even shoot. And since they are melee units, I don't want to push them up too close, because he can hide at the bottom of the ridge line, and then I'll only get maybe a chance to fire 1 volley, if even that. So I'm going to go ahead and start swinging the rest of my lines over here. He's got some Shogun infantry still running around, came back from routing. But I'm going to take care of those guys pretty fast. Also a little bit worried about this one unit of Bokachi left. It's a half strength, but I don't want to let him just sit back out of range and pick off my lines. Over here you can see I'm going to go ahead and start maneuvering my right flank over here. I was trying to see if I could get into range, but you can see the position is just not good. I can't get too close without putting his melee infantry right on top of me. Here you can see he's pretty much took the bait with my spear levy, but once again those guys are just not in a good position. I should have had my lines pushed up a little bit farther. So I'm going to go ahead and start swinging my left flank around to catch him and start to wrap around this hill. Just because of the terrain here, I mean, I'm just trying to circle around him. As well, I noticed he has a few units that took off routing and came back that ran into this forest line. So I'm going to send my one marine unit over here to take care of them. I think it's a katana kachi and maybe a matchlock kachi. But not a huge threat to my marines. Those guys are wavering and ready to break already anyways. As well, I got a few pop shots off on his Bokachi over here with these black bear infantry. It's basically just trying to set up the perimeter so I can go ahead and start to close on his lines. It's looking like a pretty good fence over here. And here you can see I can go ahead and catch up over here now. Just going to try to rush these katana kachi up into my marines. These guys will handle these katana kachi pretty well. This one badass right here with a pistol. That's the opposite for you. It's a pistol. But you see those guys take off pretty quick. I also use my suppressive fire. So just a quick adjustment. Start getting close to this Shogun infantry. I believe I said matchlock kachi. But that routes those guys, and I'm not too worried over there now. Go ahead and see my line advance over here, but he's smart. He knows he cannot crest the hill, and I'm gonna have to push up. Over here he's maneuvering his cav around my back flank, and what I actually did, I dismounted one of my cav units to take care of his spear levy. I mean, if I left those guys mounted, they would have just molested my cav, but dismounted, they're actually pretty good against spear levy. So I have them over here engaged with them, and I think he's still got some Shogun and guard cav. I don't want him to sit back and pick off my dismounted cav, so I'm going to bring my general around with the rest of my mounted Yari key and try to take care of these guys. Luckily he just does not adjust at the right time, and I'm able to get these guys and tumble them in. Meanwhile, you can see I brought my general up. Fortunately, some of my guys were shooting at the spear levy, which is of no use to me. And pretty much got envelopment set up over here. These guys have a good angle on the flank. It's going to force them to have to attack now. And I'm wrapping these guys around the backside. So pretty much almost 360 degrees of envelopment over here. These guys just don't have it in them now. And he's going to hit my Imperial Guard infantry, which have pretty good morale. Better melee attack than his right now. He doesn't have a general anymore to boost his men. And the battle's set over here. He's still got quite a few Imperial Guard cav and some Yari cav, so I took one unit of these Black Bear infantry to go and secure my rear. And I clicked attack orders, and these guys are running this way down the hill. Pretty asinine. I don't know why they just didn't crest the hill and start shooting. But just trying to keep my general safe. Don't want to get him too much trouble just yet. And even though he caught up with my Imperial Guard over here, I went ahead and turned these guys on the flank. And I'm just going to let them shoot them up from the side. So I pushed my general up here, took a few pop shots at his Yari cav, and I'm going to run these guys back as fast as possible.
You have triumphed over the
Meanwhile,
enemy.
you can see I got my Black Bears coming in to protect my general. Went ahead and popped my rally as well. Just did not want to lose him yet. But that's going to be the match. It was a really fun battle. I didn't expect to win against a bushido general. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the results. Alright, so here's the results. You can see I deployed 1,440 units. My opponent, he deployed 1,800, 360 more than me. I had 577 losses and 1,174 kills. All in all, it was a pretty good match. Hope you guys enjoyed. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.